Next, if you live near Radcliffe, you are being urged to act now to improve rail services in the area. Rushcliffe's MP Ruth Edwards says the time has come to put pressure on the Department for Transport to commit to bettering the village's infrastructure. She has already submitted proposals to the department, but to bolster her case, she's now launched a survey. I spoke to her earlier today and I asked her just what the station needs.
Well, first and foremost, more trains. So more frequent trains and running throughout the day, and also trains running until later in the evening. At the moment, they stop very early coming out of Nottingham, so people can't can't get back from evening activities.
Why are these improvements needed in the case of Radcliffe-on-Trent and Rushcliffe? We do know that some people in rural areas find themselves a bit isolated in terms of local transport, and I think we understand that that situation might have got worse to some degree during the pandemic.
Well, I think you've answered the question brilliantly yourself. We have a service here that runs throughout Leicestershire, Nottinghamshire, and into Lincolnshire as well. But because the service isn't regular enough in terms of the trains and they're not at the right times, it's an underused service when actually people would very much like to use it. And that's very much the response we're getting back from the surveys that have been going out this week.
When you speak to people in the area, what worries, what concerns do they have about the rail service in Radcliffe-on-Trent?
Well, their number one thing is that they want more frequent trains. So at the moment, we've heard from everybody from children who would like to use it to get to school, but the service isn't reliable enough, from commuters who'd like to use it to get to work, but again, the service isn't frequent enough in the morning and it doesn't run late enough in the evening, and from people who just like to go into the city, on into Lincolnshire for leisure activities, to see friends and family. And again, having a regular, reliable service that ran to an appropriate time in the evening, I think would enable people to make a lot better use of the public transport provision that is there. We just need to have more trains.
This survey will hopefully help you and the Department for Transport understand what people in the area want and need. What questions are being asked and how do you think they'll improve your case?
Sure. So the survey asks people to simply rate the rail service at the moment, so from 0 to 10, and at the moment that's being rated on average as a 3. That's not a scientific answer because we're just looking at ones that come back as they come in, but there's obviously a lot of room for improvement there. We're also asking people how often they use the service at Radcliffe, and then the final question is, what would they most like to see from improvements in the station? And that's always, at the moment so far, more frequent trains. And what it will help me do is just to build a business case for doing this, to show that there is demand there and that investment in more trains and investment in the station would be used by people if it was made available.